Well, as we are continuing the chapter skeletal system and nervous system, and I have explained you about the joints, and somebody told me to explain me again how the messages are sent and received through our reflex action, or you can say through our spinal cord. So once I will explain you this, and then we will go for the structure of eye. Okay, now see, this is the ventral section of the spinal cord. Do you know what are the lateral section? If something is being laterally being cut down, that time that is a lateral section. When something is being just in the x-axis it is being cut down, then it is the ventral section. So this is the ventral section. The whole structure you can see through it. So this structure, this is the ring form of the vertebrae, and this is the central canal. This central canal is actually sending and receiving the messages. Whether it is in the brain, it is sending to the brain, or whether it is sending to the spinal cord. Now this is, as this is the reflex action, there is nothing to think about. We don't have to take any decision. We don't have to think about anything. We have to give just the immediate response. So this immediately response, or the immediate responses are controlled by our spinal cord, and these kind of actions are called reflex actions. So how the messages are sent to the spinal cord and how they are giving the response, what we have to do, this is the arc for this reaction. Okay, this is called the reflex action. Reflex action is a quick and automatic response of the body to stimulate controlled by the spinal cord. So how it is controlling? First of all, see, if your hand or anyone's hand is touching something hot, as it is shown here, a candle is there. So burning candle means when we touch the burning candle, that burning sensation comes to us. So how we can feel this is a burning sensation, and how it is not pleasant to us, and what we have to do. So we know there are three kind of nerves: sensory nerve, motor nerves, and third one is the mixed nerve. So in this case, there is no function of the mixed nerves. So the functions are actually they are controlled by sensory nerves and the motor nerves. So first of all, see, the message, burning message, is carrying to the spinal cord through our sensory nerve, and this sensory nerve is bringing the message to the spinal cord that something is burning and our skin is being burned. So immediate for withdrawing the hand, what we do when we touch something hot, immediately we withdraw our hand, we take back our hand, isn't it? So how we are doing this spontaneous reaction? This spontaneous reaction, the response is coming to the hand, to your skin, or the respected organ where you have, from by which you have touched the hot thing, or whatever the sharp thing, anything. So this response is coming through the motor nerve. So this is the whole thing. Whenever any immediate reaction, suppose you are blinking your eyes when somebody is just waving his or her hand in front of you, you are blinking your eyes. So why? Is it anything goes inside our eyes? No, but the immediate reaction, whatever the immediate reaction, when the air passes through our eyelashes, that time we feel something is coming towards us, and that time our senses or the optic nerves take this message to the spinal cord, and the spinal cord immediately give the response through our motor nerve that blink your eyes to protect your eyes. For protection, we are blinking our eyes. Any kind of response, whatever we are giving immediately or spontaneously, those type of responses are called reflex action. Understood? And they are controlled by our spinal cord. Clear? Avivsha, you have asked me, so is it clear to you? Okay, now we will move, or just turn over the page. There are two multiple MCQ questions or multiple choice question. First one is, what are the nerves that carry messages from brain to the different parts of the part of the body called? So what are they? Sensory nerves are bringing messages to the brain, and from the brain which nerves are carrying the responses or the messages? They are the motor nerves. Very good. Who has given? Avivsha has given the answer. Okay, Avivsha, I hope you have understood the reflex action, isn't it? Okay, welcome. Now first one is A is given. What are the nerves that carry messages from the brain to the different part of the body called? That is question number 1. B part is the correct answer, that is motor nerves. So just tick it or correct it, motor nerves. And second one is, which is the largest part of the brain? Which one is the largest part? Yes, very good. It is cerebrum. So cerebrum is the largest part of the brain. You write down. Both side of our forebrain, or you can say the upper portion of our brain, is actually divided into two, and in between there is one soft bone. Okay, so this is actually cerebrum. So the largest part of our brain is actually cerebrum. Now just see the eye structure. So what is the eye structure? See, here is the internal, this is the eye. You don't have, in your course, you don't have the whole structure of the eye, but still I will show you the parts of the eye structure on whatever the portions of the eye which are necessary in whatever their functions. Okay, so through a, once you see this, this is a chart of human eye. At first I will show you the parts of the eyes. When we see whatever the eye you are seeing, apparently, or we can see, this is the eye, this is the eyelashes, and these both are called the eyelids. So by which we close our eyes and we can open our eyes. Now inside the eye, see, one whole white portion is there. That whole white portion is actually covered by a membrane that is called cornea. Okay, now just behind the cornea you will see one spherical colored portion is there. In our India, maximum human beings, or the maximum people, have the black eye, but in other countries we can see different colors of the eye. Maybe they are brown in color, maybe green, maybe bluish color. So these all are these all colors of the eye come to us, or we can see the different colors of the eye due to this irish portion. So this is the iris, and this iris is actually the colored pigments are there, that's why it looks colorful. Maybe it is black. In our country maximum people are having black color eye, but few of them you can see they are having the brown color eye or grayish eye even. Okay, then yes, I'm seeing. Okay, now this is the iris portion, and in between the iris you will see there is a small spherical portion, very small. When you see your eye, when you stand in front of your mirror, that time you try to see, there is a big spherical portion, and inside the big spherical portion there is a small spherical portion. That small spherical portion is actually pupil, and there is one small hole. From this hole, from this pupil, all the rays of the light goes inside our eye. Okay, and whatever the pictures, whatever the images you are seeing, they are due to this eye rays of the light which goes through the pupil and making the images on this portion. This portion is called retina. Okay, so now you see, when we see the internal portion of the eye, so the first one is the whole eye is covered by cornea. Then this is the colored portion that is called the iris, and within this iris, just in the central of the iris, there is a small pupil through which the eye light rays goes inside the eye, and make the images on this layer. This is called the retina. And whatever in between, one thing is not given here, just behind this pupil there is a lens. Okay, so lens, directly we cannot see the lens of our eyes, they are behind the iris, or you can say just behind the pupil. So through this lens the rays goes inside this retina and they make the images. So whatever the images are formed, we can see, and whatever we are seeing, they are actually the images which are formed on this retina. Now how these images we can see? Actually these images directly we cannot see from our eyes. These images, the sensation of the images, or the whatever we are seeing, these images are, or these sensations are actually carried from this optic nerve to our brain. Okay, and always we are on the retina, the images are always inverted and small. They are small and inverted, that means upside down. Okay, so the pencil is like this, but if the image of the pencil is, whatever the image of the pencil is making on our retina, that is upside down, that is ulto. Okay, so it is upside down, and now through this optic nerve, when this sensation goes to our brain, this portion of our brain, this is the portion, this is the part of the cerebrum which is responsible for thinking, taking decision, any kind of decisions are taken by this portion, and any kind of decision we take from this cerebrum. So this is the part by which we come to know what the thing we are seeing, whether it is a dog, whether it is a cow, whether it is the any kind of plant, anything, any color, whatever you are seeing with the help of this portion, or this is the visual portion of cerebrum. So through all the optic nerves goes to this visual portion of cerebrum, they are bringing the message to this cerebrum portion, and this cerebrum is decides whatever we are seeing, and they are helping us to see the things in a correct posture and in a straight way. That is the correct, that is not inverted, they are just standing in a erect position. Okay, so this is the right position. So these all are helping us. It is not so easy, it is not like this that we are seeing the any image, we are seeing anything and directly we can see that. So the eyes are not only sufficient to see anything, eyes with the help of the brain, with the help of the optic nerves, we are seeing all the things clearly, and objects are clear to us whatever we are seeing. Clear? That's why it is said, no, brain is the computer of our whole body. Everything is decided by our brain, whatever we are seeing, whatever we are feeling, which organ will do whatever the function. These all decisions are taken by brain. So brain is the master, or you can say this is the main part of our body. All parts are very important, but brain is actually taking all kinds of decision. So why our eye is just not falling down from the socket of the eye? Because there are two type of muscles, you see, these are called the ciliary muscles. These muscles are tightly holding the eye. That's why the eye is not coming out from the eye socket. Understood? Now anything related to eye, any kind of problem, if you have, you can ask me. Okay, welcome. But even then you have, if you understand, then it's very nice. But even then, if you have any problem, you can ask me. Do you have any kind of problem? You want to ask anything which is no? Okay, thank you. If no, then it's okay. Anybody else? You can ask me even afterward. Okay, if any problem or anything you think about, then you can ask me. Now whatever the functions are given for the eye, eyes are the sense organ of sight. We see various things with the help of our eye. I have explained you how we can see the things from our eyes. Eyes are like round ball and are fitted into the socket of the skull. So this is our skull. I have explained you. I have shown you the skull also. So there are two sockets where the eyes are fixed with the help of the ciliary muscles, isn't it? Papillary and ciliary muscles, both are very important for our eyes. Now next one is the front portion of our eye is covered by a transparent covering called cornea. I have shown you. Now the colored part of the eye is called what? Colored part is called? That is iris. And within the iris, very small spherical part is called pupil. And the objects that behind the pupil, the lens is there that forms the image of the object you see on the screen, and that screen is called retina. Now the nerve cells in retina send messages to the brain through the optic nerves. The brain reads the messages and enable us to see the objects. So the brain have a good contribution of to the eye, and it is helping us to see the objects. Okay, now yes, iris, very good, you have given the answer, very good. Colored part, actually the color of our eyes also depend on the iris. Now whatever the care of eye, wash your eyes daily with the clean water. You know, you tell me, if you have the care, you tell me what else we have to do. We have to wash our eyes with the clean water, and do not read, yes, do not read in the dim light, very good. Anything else? Do not watch TV for long hours, and never rub your eyes with the dirty hands, because dirty hands have lots of germs and dirt, dust, which may harm your eyes. So we don't have to rub our eyes. We always use some clean handkerchief to clean our eyes. Okay, Prince, you are showing me your thumb. Okay, thank you, but don't just send these type of emojis. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Now anything else? Yes, do not play computer games for a long time. It is also correct. Well, so these all are the eye care, and I have given you in the project the structure of the eye. So I hope you all will draw the thing neat and clean and clearly, and if you have any problem, then you can ask me. Okay, now next one is our nose. We know we smell the various things or the air with the help of our nostrils, and you see the diagram is also given here. If these are the nostrils, the air is going through our nostrils, and from the windpipe there are two portions in the lungs. These are called the tracheas. This is not given here, but whatever, you know the windpipe. So the air goes to our windpipe. If any kind of dirt and germs or anything is there, it is being restricted by the hairs which are present inside our nostril and as well as in our windpipe. Okay, if once they will reach inside the lungs, they will just block the lungs, they will block the small airy portions are present inside the lungs, it will become blocked. Okay, so this air should be neat and clean. So the nostrils help us for bringing the or taking the clean air. It helps us to smell various things. We breathe through our nose. Inside the nose there are nerve ending that are sensitive to smell. See, this is the nerve ending. On the upper palate of our nose there are the nerve ending. That's why when we are having cold, we are having cough and cold, that time we are unable to smell anything, because these all nerve endings are being blocked by the mucus and whatever the things. Okay, so that's why we are unable to smell that time. Now they send messages to the brain whether the smell is good or bad. It again we come to know through the nerve endings which send the messages to the brain, and brain tells us whether the smell is good or bad. And it is also depend on our past experience. If the smell is unknown to us, that time it is difficult for us to decide about the smell. Okay, so this is all about the nose. Now next I will take, in the next day class, I will take the care of the nose, ears, and care of the ears, tongue and skin. So the three things are being remain that I will take in my next class. And now these two are medulla oblongata. That is the portion of the brain. No, medulla oblongata is actually the I have explained you in my video. I have given a video where I have explained the parts of the brain. So the cerebrum is site of intelligence, decisions, drawing, any kind of skill comes to us through the cerebrum portion. What about the cerebellum? Cerebellum is coordinating with our muscles. If I want to touch something, if I want to pick something, if I want to walk somewhere, so these all voluntary muscles are controlled by our cerebellum. And what about the medulla oblongata? Medulla oblongata controls all the involuntary actions or the involuntary muscles like intestine, like urinary muscles, so urinary bladder. So these all are controlled by our medulla oblongata. Even the heartbeat is also controlled by medulla oblongata. So medulla oblongata is related with our all involuntary actions or involuntary functions. Okay, that means involuntary functions I have explained you. Actually you are not watching the offline video. In the offline video I have given all these in a detail, so you go through that. Now time is less, so every day I will give you the videos, you go through the video also. Okay, so you'll come to know. So there are three portions in the brain. First one is cerebrum, which are site of intelligence, thinking, skill, writing, orating, and any kind of a skill you are having, that sites are in the cerebrum portion. Okay, they are further divided into left cerebrum and the right cerebrum. Now in the lower portion of the brain, cerebellum is there. Cerebellum is actually controlling our muscular activity. If I voluntary muscular activity, if I want to pick the book, so I am picking it with the help of who is ordering me. That order is coming from the cerebellum. Okay, any kind of coordination with our muscles is whatever we are doing, any kind of coordination of the voluntary muscles, that is controlled by cerebellum. And what about the medulla oblongata? Their function is to control all kind of involuntary functions. So these are what they are involuntary functions. These are heartbeat, circulation of your blood, intestinal, that means digestion, urination. These all kind of functions are controlled by medulla oblongata. I hope it is clear to you right now. Any problem? Okay, so that's all for the day. If you have any kind of other problem, you can ask me, and you please go through the video whatever I have given. Project I have told you, no? I have given you in a written form. Now I will not, every day I will not tell you about the projects. Okay, thank you.